An old servant drops the food from his hands, and his mistress hears the sound of the food falling. The girl said, "The old servant drops something every day," and told her husband to hire a new servant. The husband said, "I have told the watchman to inform me when a new servant is available." Then the old servant, worried, sits down and picks up the spilled curry with his hands and puts it back into the dish. Then the mistress calls out, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" The old servant replied, "No, I'm fine." Then the wife told her husband, "He has become very old now. Hire another servant. He can't work anymore." Then the old servant picks up the spilled curry, puts it away, and starts cleaning the floor. Then the husband said to his wife, "Yes, I'll talk to 2 or 3 people to find a good servant." Then the mistress calls out to the old servant and says, "Pack a meal in a tiffin." The servant said, "I'll bring it now." Then the servant packs a meal in a tiffin and goes to the mistress's room to give her the food. The mistress said, "Okay, go." Then the old servant leaves. Then the old servant goes to a shop and says to the shopkeeper, "Give me 2 milk packets." The shopkeeper gives 2 milk packets, and the old servant takes one of them. The shopkeeper said, "You used to take 2 packets before." The old servant said, "I think I'm going to lose my job, so I'm taking 1 packet." Then he takes out money from his pocket and gives it to the shopkeeper before walking away. The old servant was thinking because he had overheard his mistress's conversation earlier. He was worried that they were going to fire him because of his age. The next day, a new servant arrives and says, "I'll do all the household work." The mistress asked, "Have you worked before?" The boy said, "I've been working for the past 2 years." The mistress said, "Okay, sweep the floor first. I'll tell you the rest of the work later." The old servant, hearing all this, becomes worried. Then the boy starts working. Later, the old servant enters the mistress's room and says, "Did I make a mistake? Why did you hire a new servant without asking me?" The mistress said, "You're too old now. You cause a lot of damage every day. Just go home." The old servant said, "No, I can still work. Don't fire me." The mistress said, "I told you you can't work anymore, and you've already been paid." Then the mistress picks up some more money and gives it to the old servant, saying, "Keep this if you find any work." The old servant said, "What is this money for? I just received my salary 2 days ago." The mistress said, "Did you think we were firing you? We are not firing you. We are retiring you." The old servant asked, "What does retiring mean?" The mistress explained, "When the government retires old employees, they give them a pension afterward." The old servant said, "I don't want a pension. I just want to work here." The mistress said, "We hoped you wouldn't leave. From today, you don't have to work, but teach the new servant how to do the work." The younger mistress said, "Your food tastes really good. That's why we can't let you go. Just teach the new servant how to work." Then the old servant thanks them and leaves. This kind-hearted mistress deserves a like.